Hey buddy, watch this.
Hello, Regis Kilbin is the name, and Hearthstone is the game, and this is a deck spotlight on a deck I'm calling the new Secret Paladin. It's created by a player named Jambre, I don't really know how to say his name, but he recently piloted this deck all the way up to top 10 on the Legend ladder in EU, and it's a fresh take on a deck archetype that many people love to hate, which is the Secret Paladin. Now, despite that moniker and despite the Mysterious Challenger, this is not like the Secret Paladin of old, from pre-Old Gods. This is a new Secret Paladin. In fact, it only runs 3 secrets altogether. I would really classify this more of a kind of mid-range Paladin that is very unique, but does some pretty cool stuff. So the goal with this deck really is to get out onto the board incredibly quickly with cards like Dragon Egg and Argent Squire, even Abusive Sergeants, and then maintain that board presence and in fact leverage that board presence with buffing cards and buffing minions like Steward of Darkshire, Rallying Blade, Blessing of Kings, Keeper of Oldham, and Defender of Argus. All of these cards introduce buffs to an early game board. So if you can get the Argent Squire, the Dragon Egg, maybe a couple Dragon Egg whelps spawned in the first few turns, then you can really leverage those into powerful mid-game minions that do really nice things. So you start to have power turns around 3, 4, 5, 6. Now this deck also has some what I would call mid-range threats. It introduces things like Mysterious Challenger, even Tyrian Forging, as sort of late-game bombs that if things fall apart earlier, you just need a big finishing push to push you over the edge and win the game, then those cards can do that. It also actually includes a fair bit of burst damage in the deck as well. Not only do you have weapons from True Silver and Rallying Blade that can do damage, but you have Leroy Jenkins and you even have Avenging Wrath for damage as well. So it's a way to win the game once you've built that early board. So it's almost kind of a zoo style, but its own spin on that in many ways, and it does in fact still have the secrets, which can sometimes perhaps just win you games by giving your opponents terrible flashbacks to a bygone era where Mysterious Challenger ruled the day. So what does this deck do unusually? Just to point out a few of the interesting cards, as I already mentioned, only 3 secrets, but they're all pretty fantastic. We've got a buffing secret, which we know synergizes with the deck. We've got Noble Sacrifice, which summons a 2/1, which synergizes with Steward of Darkshire. So if you have your Steward of Darkshire out, you can protect it with a Noble Sacrifice, and then that minion will also spawn a Divine Shield as soon as it's summoned, and therefore live through the trade as a 2/1, which can be nice. It's a free 2/1 that also does 2 damage instantly. Redemption is fantastic on cards like Tyrian Forging, of course. Can also be decent on something like Steward of Darkshire as well, but if you can save that for the Tyrian or the Mysterious Challenger, it's a very big deal. You got your suite of early game cards. Rallying Blade is worth mentioning since it is a new Old Gods card. This one is going to give +1/+1 to all your minions with Divine Shield, so that means all the stuff that's summoned while Steward of Darkshire is on the board and it buffs, but also just the straight up Argent Squire sometimes will be buffed by a Rallying Blade, which can be a big deal. Plus it's a 3/2 weapon for 3, which isn't bad in its own right. We've got Aldor Peacekeeper, which is kind of a defensive card that can answer scary stuff like the Shaman's Flame Wreath Faceless, so this is just a necessary component and also just a solid minion. You've got all your golden 4-mana cards here. Pretty standard stuff outside of Blessing of Kings, which is there just to buff all these great things. If you can land the buff on the Dragon Egg, sometimes that'll be a huge play that just spawns so many different guys. Leroy and Avenging Wrath I already mentioned as damage, and then Tyrian Forging is the final piece of the puzzle, that if the game does stretch to turn 8, sometimes you can just slap down Tyrian and he'll carry you to victory. One interesting thing you'll notice about this deck, absolutely no 2-drops. It's all 1s and 3s and 4s. Now that might look a little crazy, in fact it is quite unusual, but when you consider the available 2-drops, not that many are fantastic in this deck or against the meta. Flame Juggler being one of the more popular and prominent ones doesn't always trade well and doesn't really do that much. I think you'll also notice a certain lack of card draw in this deck. In fact, you won't see any. This deck is a kind of deck that wants to win the first go round. In other words, it can't last forever, and it wants to make it count early and win the game with a good curve and powerful plays from the early to mid game. So mid-range deck in that sense. No way to bail yourself out in a long game. You can't out-top deck your opponents, so it is important to get out to a pretty aggressive, consistent early start. So that'll do it for the new Secret Paladin by Jambre. As far as the list is concerned, let's go ahead and take this thing out onto a totally fresh ranked ladder. This is the first day of the season. And as such, who knows what we're going to find on the ranked ladder, but we're taking a surprising new deck with a fun new spin. So we might catch some people off guard and win some games. We'll have to see how Jambre, I don't know how you say his name, but we'll see how his new Secret Paladin fares in a new month. As far as mulligans are concerned, all this is junk. All of it's just junk. We want our 1-drops more than anything else. We want the Argent Squires, we want the eggs. Even a Rallying Blade is solid usually because you may not get the buff, but just having the weapon the turn sooner is a big deal. This is too many 4-drops in our opening hand. This deck does have kind of a gluttony of 4-drops, so that's not a surprising thing to see all the time. But hopefully we do draw into something to do. Notably on turn 2, right, we saw that there was a lack of 2-drops, but we do have the Paladin Hero Power, which is pretty decent at getting 2-drops out there. So we'll always have something to do. Still no plays. We'll have to hold. We don't really even have a good play next turn. I'm really happy that he life tapped though. That slows him down just a hair. We'll probably summon a dude, and he's unlikely to trade. He's probably thinking we're like a control paladin, so he won't kill this. He'll go face, and oh, but that might ruin our plans. Yeah, that ruins our plans just a hair. So we actually have a bit of a dilemma here, right? I guess we have to use the Rallying Blade at this point. We could play the Steward of Darkshire, but it dies very easily to the Flame Imp, which would be pretty unfortunate. I think we just have to kill the Knife Juggler. We've gotten off to a very slow start. This deck is capable of much quicker starts than this. We do have some power plays, right? We have the Tyrion. We've got a couple buffs / debuffs with Keeper of Uldaman, so we might be able to get out of this, but it's not going to be easy, honestly. A Consecration would be a welcome sight. That's a card that we do have for stuff like this. As far as what he plays, I don't really care. It's probably an Imp King boss. Dark Iron Dwarf is actually pretty tough. Our health is already quite low, and I can't even use that right now. Well, I guess I can Keeper of Uldaman the Dark Iron. It doesn't do much, but it does something. It's not a great play, but it's the best way for me to establish a body and kill a minion. The problem, of course, is that we're at 13. We could just be dead to Leroy Power Overwhelming already. Well, he's only got 5 mana, so we're not quite dead to that, but soon we could be. Defender of Argus might be life-saving, but unfortunately I'd have to coin out a dude with it instead of another solid minion. Seeing something like an Argent Squire would be nice. We're unfortunately 8 cards into our deck and haven't seen any of our 1-drops yet, which is just crazy because there's a lot. We have 6 1-mana minions and 3 1-mana spells, none of which have arrived. That's bad news, Bears. Alright, so we can trade another buff. I think I have to taunt here because so many things kill me. And unfortunately, like I said, we didn't even draw a card, so I have to coin Hero Power just to get another body out. I have to think about this trade a little bit. I could go this way, right, to remove the most damage, but I could also go this way. This would have 3 health remaining, which means he'd have to use the Definitive Argus and the Possessed Villager to kill it, or the Flame Imp. But this also puts an additional power on the board if I do it that way, because I summon the second half and I attack for 2. So I think that's wrong. That essentially gives him an extra attack. Plus, these don't even really line up that well. Like, yes, he can kill both, but... So again, Leroy Power Overwhelming definitely kills us. That does not kill us. That does not kill us yet, but it could soon. He'll trade here, and then we can Consecration maybe, if we drew it, right? If we drew it. But we have to draw it. It doesn't do any good to not draw it. Either way, it doesn't matter to me. We can kill the shield and Consecration, but we have to get 1 out of 21 or 2 out of 21. Nope. Yeah, so now I'm not sure that I can win, right? I don't have taunts. I can heal for 2, I guess. If I kill this, he's got 5 left. I have 5 health. This just keeps me alive barely. Unfortunately, again, I have to hero power. I don't know if that was a mistake. I'm not sure what you mean, but I think it was fine. Yep, we're dead. This hand is just abysmal. How did we not draw anything good? The worst zoo hand I've ever seen. No eggs, no Argent Squires, no Abusive Sergeants. Just no secrets. That was not a great game to showcase the deck, unfortunately. We'll have better ones, though, certainly. We can't draw that poorly over and over again, I don't think. So, of course, we'll give it another go. Curious if this will be a similarly styled deck. Even an Avenging Wrath would have been welcome there to kill some stuff, right? We'll sit back everything but the Abusive Sergeant. I don't mind playing this just as a 1-drop, particularly in this deck where it needs it. Another awkward draw here. Would still love to see the Argent Squire, the egg. Though it's not either of those things. Don't know what kind of Paladin this is yet, or his first play might tell us a little bit. Hero power, okay. It's actually good because it does contest my minion. And I just, again, don't have a play. This is crazy. Where are the 1-drops? They're hidden away. I don't even have a 3-drop now. It's all 4s. This is fun. It's the Hero Power Brigade. 3 straight Hero Powers. It's going to be 4 unless something changes. What's he doing? He can't coin. May have forgotten to hit end turn. That happens to me sometimes too. He forgot. That's what I thought. Look at this. Unbelievable. I'm have to trade. I guess I didn't actually have to trade. Could have gone face. I want a minion to survive for sure, though. So. I think I'll just True Silver that, and I could keep her right, but it would die to the trade. This enables it to live, and I can keep her next turn. I can Blessing. It gives me a little bit more flexibility, and I have the weapon up as well. So getting the weapon out of turn sooner means that I can utilize both charges faster. This guy's still probably safe. It's just a 1/1. He played just a naked Wild Pyromancer. I'm thinking this is like a Control Paladin. I don't think I would have played that Wild Pyro if that's the case on its own. He may need that for a board clear later. That's scary. So that's a 5/5 when it comes out. So just gonna go ahead and do this. If I play the abusive, it probably dies to the trade, right? Does that matter? It probably does, because if he has True Silver Champion, then he'll need to kill this, and the abusive might die. In other words, I have 6 total health on the board. True Silver plus Twilight Summoner does 5 damage. So if he kills this, then he can't True Silver down the buffed recruit. So I think this increases my likelihood of keeping a minion around. I can 3/3 that and kill it with the sword. That's sort of annoying, but I can kill dudes with it. Actually, we'll just go ahead and play Dr. Six, I think. It's pretty good. And we can kill this one. So now he's going to have a hard time killing this just because Noble Sacrifice will be up. And he might also... He's going to summon me likely a 2/1, and the Competitive Spirit will go off. So you can see why Dr. Six is still sort of good if this turn goes well. We still haven't actually seen this deck do what it's supposed to do, which is get out the Argent Squire and the egg, but it works. I have the weapon to kill this again, which I may very well do. Just see what he does. He's probably going to kill this one, which is likely right. I gotta stop clicking so much. I know I'm a obsessive clicker. Probably shouldn't have said that in case somebody out there didn't know when I just informed them of my obsessive clickiness. Do we have... We're not gonna have lethal anyway, are we? No, I don't believe so. We'll have 10 there, 14. We're actually gonna be... Oh! This seems like it could be very good. It's very likely to kill his minions, right? Like, just so likely. Good. Alright, so we've put him pretty low here. It is probably a control paladin, so he may indeed have, you know, a heal. Forbidden healing or something for 14. So he could go up to 21. But I still think that's a good play, because it dealt with the board pretty efficiently. It didn't have a great play other than True Silver Hero Power otherwise. Like the Keeper of Oldemons didn't do much here. That seemed like just a great board clear. A little mini Flame Strike almost. That did some face damage too. There's the Forbidden Healing. He's going to full. He'll kill this minion. So he's down to, what, 20 exactly? We can just play Tyrion into this. Seems pretty insanely good. Oh my gosh, that card is in the deck. We did not forget to include it. Cool. So, as far as Tyrion goes, he may have like an Aldor. I'm trying to think what else answers he could have. Doomsayer would just kill him. Well, he could Doomsayer Forbidden Healing, I suppose. But that doesn't feel very good. We have 13 plus 4, so we have 17 damage right now. He could Ragnaros Light Lord. I'll probably keep her, kill it with the sword and go face. But that's what we see, actually. But we see the Ragnaros, and we just deal with it. We would even drag an egg in that instance, too. Equality, yeah. Equality Consecrate, yeah. That's not that good against Tyrion, though. That leaves me with the 6 attack dude out. That's just going to be lethal. Super Tyrion. Cool. So we got off to a miserable start there, but thankfully we had everything we needed to win the game. That guy's having flashbacks. We played Dr. Six, Mysterious Challenger, and eventually followed it up with a Tyrion, right? So if he's been playing Hearthstone long, he's having flashbacks to a terrible bygone era, which I think is pretty funny. Alright, Druid should be an interesting... Oh my gosh, there it is. What do you know? We can get it, and it's even in the opening hand. So we'll send back all those 4s. We want more 1s and like Rallying Blade. And oh my gosh, it's a good hand for once. We'll probably lose this game now. I'll put out Dragon Egg first. And next turn, probably just play Argent Squire. I actually might just Hero Power. I want to get the Steward of Darkshire out at the same turn as the Noble Sacrifice. Just in case he has to attack into it. He probably has the Wrath to kill it. So maybe I should play the Eldor first if I'm able to do it in an intelligent way. But next turn I could also... Okay, so this is Cthulhu Druid, obviously. It's good to know. Yeah, I think I'll just play this guy. Unfortunately, the Argent Squires don't really synergize with the Steward of Darkshire. They kind of overlap, so that's not a necessarily awesome hand to have. Hopefully he wraths this. When he wraths this, I'll have more faith to play the Steward of Darkshire. I think it'll have like higher likelihood to live. He may also play Cthulhu's Chosen. Probably trade into that. Yep. I don't actually have a great way to trade into that, but I can Noble Sack and trust that it will, at the very least, break the Divine Shield, right? I don't think I need to use the coin yet. He probably has no idea what secret that is, unless he's familiar with this deck list somehow. Because nobody runs secrets anymore. The secrets are what won us the game last time, by the way. That turn on 6 with Mysterious Challenger definitely pulled us ahead. So he does have the Wrath, unfortunately. That is what we were worried about. Thankfully, we do have a second one. It's a shame he didn't attack first. But we can work it. We're fine. Would have liked to seen the second Wrath, but again, we can work with this. Consecration's not very good right now. I think I'll probably just True Silver and play this. Is this worth killing or not, I wonder? Yeah, I guess why not. The only downside is it can be killed to Consecration, but I don't know. If we can clear the board pretty easily, I'm inclined to do that. Man, Steward of Darkshire is just not good with Argent Squire. I need my Rallying Blade. Could have a pretty sick turn with Rallying Blade. That dude's big. It's pretty big. I can actually kill it pretty easily, too. That's intriguing. I think I should. I take 7 face damage, but it's so big that I can just kill it. I'm going to Hero Power. I could have coined out the Steward, but next turn I can Steward Hero Power guaranteed, and it will survive. And swipe Hero Power here is possible, but that summons me a dude at least. And it takes this whole turn. Ancient of War is scary. That's pretty scary. Avenging Wrath, is that good? Can do... It's likely to do 4. I can attack for 6 right now with 8. I don't know, I'm gonna try it, I guess. Not a good start. Alright. I guess that's a sign. Not thrilled about my board state or my hand state, but I don't know. We killed some stuff. Killed 2 giant dudes. A Defender of Argus or something would be pretty solid. I don't really care about that brand synergy there. This might be a decent Consecration if I get a buff card to go with it. Keeper of Alderman's pretty good, actually. I'll play the Steward first. And then I'll keeper this guy. And I'll go here. And I'll go here. Now this is very susceptible to swipe, admittedly, but even if he swipes, I'm left with a few dudes. So he can swipe, trade with the Bran. But this will spawn a dude. These 2 Divine Shield dudes will live. So I should have 3 dudes, even if he swipes. Swipe Hero Power, I guess, actually deals with another set of dudes. He may not have swipe as well. In that case, we have a very good board. Really, really good board. He looks like his swipe. Oh, he did that correctly. Because now this will not summon a Divine Shield when this dies. Otherwise this... Oh, actually it will, I guess. Oh, cool. I shouldn't work that way, I feel like, but I'll take it. So we have a great Consecration. Finally, he will hero power down this one, which means I trade... Oh, he didn't hero power. He ran out of mana. I see, I see, I see. Still a good Consecration. And we'll go ahead and weapon, because we got nothing else to do. Do I go face or not? It's the question. I have 8 damage per turn over 2 turns, so it would put him at 16 damage, so you'd have 3 health left. I've already used 1 True Silver, so I'm not going to get another, but I will have Rallying Blade, so I guess I use it just to make room for the eventual Rallying Blade. Fortunately, his hero power is pretty good against these guys, but we might still be able to win. He's going to top deck better than us is the problem. If I top deck like a secret at this point, I'm going to... Oh, well. There's also that, which just wins the game, right? I think that's lethal. No, it wasn't lethal. How much health did we have? 24. Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, so we obviously can't kill that. We're just dead. I was right about the Rallying Blade, though. Using the True Silver charge was definitely the right decision. He gets to go 22 for face now. Pretty fun. Drawing a Defender of Argus there would have actually potentially kept me alive, right? Because I would have had a 2 health taunt, which his hero power does not technically clear, as far as we could tell. I mean, it's still likely we were dead, but would have gave us a fighting chance at least. We'll keep going. This is a pretty fun deck. We've not had the best of luck, admittedly. The Ancient of War there really stomped on us. The 7-9 into the 5-10, we were forced to utilize our board twice. Then he had the timely swipe, also hurt, so that one was a tough one. Ooh, I like it. I like it, I like it, I like it. It's good against fiery bats and stuff. We'll keep them both. That's a fine follow-up. Oh, nice, Tyler Durden. Congrats. That's actually good, because now we kind of have a 2-3. Otherwise, we would have been stuck for a couple turns, perhaps. I'd like to see another 1-drop next turn. I don't want to have to split a mana, float a mana, or hero power. Neither one's great. He's got a fiery bat, it looks like. Or not. Yep. I'm deciding which one to play, so we know there's 2 fiery bats. We can actually do this. This is a pretty sick turn. Even if he kills one, the competitive spirit's going to kill 2 minions, likely. I mean, it's going to buff 2 minions. We got a good follow-up too. We're on a good spot here, despite our hand looking drastically empty. I think we're okay. Coin, Desert Camel, sick! I got one of those. That's a good one too, though. Jeez Louise, he actually just buffed my well, he's going to trade, so he probably didn't buff my competitive spirit, unless the fiery bat hits a dragon egg, in which case he did. He gave me an extra buff here. So I just got like a bajillion dudes. No really good trades, though. Everything's at 4 health, and my guys don't do 4 health. I can actually get rid of the beasts first. And this will summon some guys for me, of course. I probably technically should have done this where that did not spawn until the fire bat was dead. Yeah, because it may kill a guy. It didn't actually end up mattering in the long run, but it kind of makes a difference. We can actually keep of Oldham one of our dragon eggs again. Yeah, because it's likely both will survive, or one will survive at least. He will kill this and trade into this, probably. Which is fine. Summon the guy for me. I think that's intriguing. So we'll buff the dragon egg again. We get wrecked by Unleash the Hounds, obviously. Much like the Swipe Blaster, but I don't know what else to do. He can just Hero Power, Unleash, and kill the entire board. He will summon us another 1/1, or another 2/1, which would be nice. Oh goodness, that's not going to do it. What does he kill here? How much damage do we just have? We have 6, 9, 12, 15 damage. He's at 20 health. A good buff here off the top will just win us the game. Shame I couldn't get the redemption out on that last dragon egg, but it's okay. Consecration probably makes this trade worth it because it's only sacrificing 1 damage and it's clearing his board full of beasts. And I went ahead and played the redemption just because if one of these dies, it obviously summons another one. So that's extra damage for us to pull out. It's crazy how many whelps we got. So many whelps. This is like a role-playing deck. We have Leroy Jenkins. We've got lots of eggs and whelps. So he finally plays the Unleash, but it feels late now to me. I think he's just dead. Perhaps Quick Shot keeps him in the game. I'm not sure. Yeah, Quick Shot keeps him in the game with 2 health. Hunter's Mark also keeps him in the game with 2 health. Cavaldier keeps him at 2 health. So I think I just go face and play the Challenger, right? Could also Darkshire Hero Power. This will give me Noble Sacrifice, though, which will make it very hard for him to kill at least one of these things. So I don't know how he kills both of these. Deadly Shot? Didn't really matter, I don't think. Perhaps it did if he had a Quick Shot. He may have actually been able to kill both minions. Alright, cool. Ah, nice. I'm trying to complete that quest for a while. I was having difficulty with Paladins. So that's actually going to wrap it up for me and the new Secret Paladin. That run, particularly that last game, was basically the epitome of what this deck is designed to do, which is get dragons out, go nuts with spawning dudes, buffing your dragon eggs, spawning more dudes. We didn't get to see them get Divine Shields from Steward of Darkshire. That would have been the ultimate dream. But still, we just flooded the board with eggs, overwhelmed our opponent, drew into the mid-range stuff that helped us finish the game, which is the Mysterious Challenger, essentially. We never quite saw Leroy, but that's okay. We've all seen Leroy plenty of times. So, yeah, this deck's pretty cool. I like it. I think it might have some inconsistency issues if you're really trying to ensure that you never lose games at the early part of the ladder, but clearly at the top end of the ladder, where decks tend to be just a hair slower, and players are a little bit more conscious with their resources and stuff. I think this deck makes a lot of sense, and clearly it was played to top 10 in all of Europe, which says a lot about its overall quality. So, pretty nifty take on the new Secret Paladin, again by Jambre, I don't know your name, but thanks for making this cool deck, and thanks you guys so much for watching. Until next time, game on.